there's I think 4 or 5 key points here, but the one you bring up would be the transparency paradox side of it, which you just sort of outlined, but I find it really fascinating. One, as the human users of these, we want to see the chain of thought processing. It's valuable in a lot of different ways, not only for the builders, but also the end users, for us to figure out, right, Andy, how to just write better prompting, right? If we can see the thought process, that informs us on better ways to prompt. So it can be great in that way. Hey, show me what you're doing. But as research, as you pointed out, has already proven, OpenAI has a paper on this from March, among many others, have shown that when a model, sometimes, it's not an all the time thing, but they've shown instances, I guess, where if a model knows that it's being watched, that it can, in ways like, deceive the user on what it's showing in the chain of thought. And it might do that through a number of different methods. It goes back to the paradox of what I was saying, Andy, right? Which is, we want to see more. But as we get into reinforcement learning and less human feedback, if we are starting to say, hey, we can rely on the model to reinforce for itself, well, if the model sees that, or these models see that, there is a possibility that we might be still seeing a great chain of thought, but it actually might be deceptive. It might be, well, that's what they want to see. That's what the end user wants to see. So I will happily oblige, but I'm going to go ahead and do what I want to do anyway. And then that brings up the big paradox of, okay, so ask for everything, or where do you draw the line there? And it gets a little tricky of, how do you do this? And this is what I don't have the answer. This is what all the big companies are trying to figure out right now, is how do you, in fact, make sure that as humans, we can always understand the root cause or action that the model is taking, and that we're not somehow seeing something that looks great and pleases us, but is in fact a swerve from AI because it wants to take a different action. And you can only look, we only have to extrapolate on that, Andy, to see how big of a problem that can quickly become with AI if we don't get a handle on